So I'm going to read to you Matthew chapter 9, and this is from N.T. Wright's contemporary translation, the New Testament for everyone, but I'm also putting some things in my own words just to keep the flow of the text today fluid and engaging for you. Jesus got into a boat and crossed over to his own town. Some people brought to him a paralyzed man lying on a bed. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralyzed man, "Cheer up, son. Your sins are forgiven." "This fellow's blaspheming," said some of the scribes to themselves. But Jesus read their thoughts. "Why are you letting all this wickedness fester in your hearts?" he said. "What's easier to say, your sins are forgiven, or to say, get up and walk? But to let you know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins," he spoke to the paralyzed man now, "get up, pick up your bed, and go home." And he got up and went away to his home. When the crowd saw it, they were frightened, but they praised God for giving authority like this to humans. As Jesus was walking along, he saw a man called Matthew who was sitting at a tax office. "Follow me," he said to him, and he rose up and followed him. When he was at home, sitting down to a meal, there were lots of tax collectors and sinners there who had come to have dinner with Jesus and his disciples. When the Pharisees saw it, they said to the disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" Jesus heard them. "It isn't the healthy who need a doctor, is it? It's the sick. Go and learn what this saying means. It's mercy that I want, not sacrifice. My job isn't to call upright people, but sinners." Then John's disciples came to him with their own question. "Why is it," they asked, "that we and the Pharisees fast all the time, but your disciples don't seem to fast at all?" "Wedding guests can't fast, can they?" Jesus replied, "As long as the bridegroom is with them. But sooner or later the bridegroom will be taken away from them, and they will fast then. Nobody sews a patch of unshrunk cloth onto an old coat. The patch will simply pull away from the coat, and you'll have a worse hole than you started with. People don't put new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise the skin will split, and the wine will be lost, and the skins will be ruined. They put new wine into new skins, then both are fine." As Jesus was saying this, suddenly an official came up and knelt down in front of him. "It's my daughter," he said. "She just died, but if you'll come and lay your hand on her, she'll come back to life." Jesus got up and followed him. So did his disciples. Just then a woman appeared. She had suffered from internal bleeding for 12 years. She came up behind Jesus and touched the hem of his coat. "If I can only touch his coat," she said to herself, "I will be rescued." Jesus turned around and saw her. "Cheer up, daughter," he said. "Your faith has rescued you." And the woman was healed from that moment. Jesus went into the official's house. There he saw the flute players and everybody in a great agitation. "Go away," he said. "The little girl isn't dead. She's just asleep." And they laughed at him. So when the crowd had been put out, he went in and took her by the hand, and she got up. The report of this went out around the whole of that region. As Jesus was leaving the area, 2 blind men followed him, shouting, "Have pity on us, Son of David!" at the tops of their voices. Jesus went into the house, and the blind men came to him. "Do you believe I can do this?" said Jesus. "Yes, Master," they replied. Then Jesus touched their eyes. "As you have believed, so let it happen," he said, and their eyes were opened. Then Jesus gave them a stern warning. "Take care," he said, "that nobody gets to know about this." But they went out and spread the news in all of that region. After they had left, people brought to Jesus a demon-possessed man who couldn't speak. Jesus cast out the demon, and the man spoke. The crowds were amazed. "Nothing like this has ever happened in Israel," they said. But the Pharisees said, "He just casts out demons by the prince of demons." Jesus went around all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, announcing the good news of the kingdom, and healing every disease and every sickness. When he saw the crowds, he felt deeply sorry for them, because they were distressed and dejected like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "There's plenty of harvest to be had, but not many workers. So pray the master of the harvest to send more workers to the harvest fields." This is the word of the Lord.